Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Sarah with Raven's Crochet, and my furry feline Raven is eating her dinner. I just got off work and I was so excited to get this tutorial out to you guys. This is the pattern we're going to be working with. You're more than welcome to screenshot this. I'm going to show you the hat we'll be doing, and don't worry, I'll show you this pattern again. This is the versatile beanie I've showed you guys in a couple of my previous videos. This is all half double crochet worked in the back loop only. And you can fold the brim up high like this to double cover your ears, or you can roll the brim down real narrow to where you can make it a slouchy beanie and half slouched in the back of your hat. And I chained 56 and I worked 42 rows. I thought that would be perfect for just an average adult size beanie for the average male, or if you have a large head. If you have a smaller head, you can still work the 56 chains if you want your hat as long as mine. And then start working with start with a row 36 rows, and then connect the two ends together with a couple of stitch markers, and then try the hat on. If it's not wide enough for your head, then you can continue working some more rows until it fits you the way you like. Now keep in mind, make sure this hat is just slightly snug, not tight, but slightly snug, because this yarn is basic acrylic and it will stretch over time with normal use. It is washable and dryable, doesn't create a lot of fuzz at all if you just use a basic 100% acrylic. And so we're going to chain 56, work a half double crochet in the second chain from hook and in each stitch across except for the last 3 stitches. The last 3 stitches on each and every row on the same side of your work, like you're going to have like a big square. You're going to have a big rectangle before this hat puts together. So on this end, you'll work 3 single crochets at the end, and then the rest of it, you'll work all your half double crochets. When you get back to this side, you work 3 single crochets on the very end, go back, all half double crochets, and repeat. So it's a 1 row repeat, simple, easy. So that way I'm not adding clips together and making this really long and boring. I'm just going to make a miniature sample for you guys, showing you this pattern. So you're going to need your yarn. You're going to need about, I would say about 200 yards just to make sure you're safe and that you have enough. You're going to need 1 stitch marker. You're going to need a darning needle for the end to sew the end together and the top of the hat, and you'll need a pair of scissors, of course. So get your yarn ready and let's get started. You're going to chain 56. Now again, I'm making my miniature version, so I just chained 16. I'm also using a 4.5mm hook because that's my personal preference. You are more than welcome to use a 5mm or a 5.5mm, but again, 4.5 is my preference. It keeps the stitches tighter and I don't have as many gaps with air going through it. So we are going to half double crochet in the second chain from hook in the back loop only, and just work your half double crochets almost all the way down. Almost all the way down, and I'll show you what to do with your stitch marker. You're going to put it in the 3rd chain from the other end, and I'll get there. And I might chit chat with you and jibber jabber a little bit so this tutorial isn't so boring. Or you can play your favorite music or whatever, and then of course, you know, stop and pause this video as you need to stay with me on the pattern or to catch up or whatever. Okay, so I'm already goofing here. I need to take that last half double crochet out. So these last 3 chains, we are going to single crochet. Put a stitch marker there if it helps you. And I'm just going to single crochet in these last 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, so I don't forget, I'm going to put my stitch marker in. I'm just getting used to these new stitch markers. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put it in the 4th chain right here, because these 3 right here that are open, those are single crochets. The stitch marker will let me know that I need to start my half double crochets again. Okay, so at the end of the row, you're going to chain 1. Every single time you turn your work, you will be chaining 1, no matter if you're on this side of your work or this side. You will always chain 1, turn your work. Now we're on the side where we did single crochet, so we're going to do 3 single crochets, back loop only, back loop only, back loop only. And now here we're at our half double crochet again. I'm used to this, so I typically just leave my stitch marker in. And then I'll start doing my half double crochets again. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's a half double crochet. For this pattern, of course, you will need to know your chains. You will need to know single crochets and half double crochets. And that is all there is to this pattern. It's just a matter of remembering your single crochets at the end. And what I like to do for this other end is only on the last stitch. You can write this down if you want, if you're taking notes, because I did not write it here. But only in the very last stitch on the opposite side from the single crochets, not on this end, but towards the end where you're working your half double crochets. I like to work a half double crochet under both loops. Under both loops instead of just one. So that way the bottom of the brim will have a more even edge. If I were to just work in the back loop only for the bottom of the brim, it would look more wonky. And then I would feel like I would want to go back and do a single crochet all the way around. And that's just an extra step that we don't need to do. So I'm at the end of that row. I'm going to chain 1, turn my work. I'm going to work that first half double crochet under both loops. And then work my half double crochet. And then now for the rest of the row, I will work underneath the back loop only until we get to that stitch marker. Until we get to the last 3 stitches. Just keep working. Hi, baby girl. She's right here next to me. Just got done eating her tuna. Hi, baby girl. I missed you. Did you miss me too? Hey, sweetheart. Mommy's doing a tutorial. She's looking right up at me. She's like, what are you doing? Okay, let me check here and see. Stitch markers right there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've got 3 stitches left. No, I got 4 stitches left. One more half double crochet. Ooh, I just got a text message. I guess they're gonna have to wait. Okay, 3 stitches left here. I'm going to do my single crochets. 1, 2, and 3 in the back loop. Now I like to do 3 single crochets on this end only because it keeps the bulk down and it saves a lot of my yarn. So this end of your work will look a little bit wonky, but that's normal. You want that because it will create less bulk at the top of your hat. Okay, so chain 1, turn your work, do 3 more single crochets. Okay. And then if it helps you, move your stitch marker up. We can put it in that single crochet right there we just did. Just let me pull that up. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just kind of poke it in somewhere. There we go. That'll work for now. Okay. So we will continue with our half double crochets in the back loop only. I hope everyone is having a good Tuesday, a good Wednesday, whenever you're watching this. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. And tomorrow's Wednesday. You know what that means? It's hump day! It's hump day! Guess what day it is? It's hump day. Remember that commercial where the camel walks into the offices full of cubicles? He's just walking around with his big old humpback. It's hump day. That commercial makes me laugh every single time. So I'm in the last stitch where I'm doing half double crochets. I'm going to work under both loops just to keep the bottom of the brim, the edge, more even. Come on, get in there. Sometimes this last stitch can get kind of tight And it's a good idea to have like a much smaller crochet hook with you in case you have trouble wiggling your working hook into that stitch. You can take your smaller hook and work it in there to help you out. So chain 1, turn your work, and under both loops on that first stitch, work your half double, and continue on down the row with more half doubles. More half doubles. Let me get some more slack here. So we had some stuff going on at work. We had some rain this past Thursday night with a little bit of small hail. And I work in kind of an older building. And in the very, very back corner where our back room is and the manager's desk is, there is a roof leak right in the corner. And there was a flood. Okay, here I'm getting to the end. Okay, I got 3 stitches left. Let's take out the stitch marker. That indicates we're doing single crochets now, so single crochet in the back loop only. Back loop only. Back loop only. Going to chain 1, turn the work. 3 more single crochets on this side, back loop only. Back loop only. And then we can do our half double crochets again, back loop only, all the way down until your very last stitch. Back loop only. So there was a flood in the back corner, and my manager has been complaining about it for 3 years to the corporate office, and they still have not fixed it until today. The only reason they fixed it today was because our server bought those huge electrical boxes that that services all of our equipment, our registers, all of our electronics, the phone line, all that stuff. Okay, I'm at the very last stitch. I'm going to go under both loops and work my last half double crochet. Chain 1, turn my work, do a half double crochet under both loops, and then do your half double crochets in the back loop only. Don't forget to put your stitch marker back in. You want to make sure you're only doing half double crochets except for these last 3 stitches, where these will be single crochets. Okay, so anyways, our electrical service box was on the very, very top shelf underneath that corner that of the roof that got water damage. And the ceiling tile got completely drenched and wet, and it's bowing, and it's literally sitting right on top of the electrical server box. And so that made our registers go out. No one could make a payment or anything. No one could swipe their card, not do an EBT or anything like that. And then a few days ago, a tech came in. I'm sure you guys get the pattern idea so far, so I'm just going to keep working and talking here. They unplugged a few things that did not need to be unplugged, and they made things worse. Isn't that crazy? They just made things worse. So today they finally fixed the roof leak. They said they think they fixed it. They won't know for sure unless they pour a bunch of water on it or wait for it to rain and to see if the roof leaks. So I don't know. They say they think they fixed it. But then we also had another technician come out, and he actually fixed our registers to where people can use their cards now, which is awesome. But we can't sell any money orders. We can't cash out lottery tickets or anything like that. There's still a whole bunch of stuff that we can't do until they get everything fixed for sure. But you think with these head corporate suits that they would fix things ahead of time so that they're not paying more money to get things fixed. You'd think. You would think. These people are doing so much to keep money in their pockets. You'd think that they would fix their stuff sooner than later. Because now they're going to have to spend twice as much or 3 times as much just to repair what got damaged. Okay, I'm in the last stitch. I need to be going underneath both loops so the brim doesn't get stretched out and wonky. So that's going to be your brim side. And this is going to be where we sew the top of the hat closed. And so you can see how this is more narrow on this side. It's more narrow on this side and it's wider over here. I like this because, like I said, it creates less bulk and it saves a lot of your yarn. So I'm going to continue working a few more rows here. I hope you guys don't mind watching me do this. Both loops on the very end, and then back loop only for the rest of it until you get to the last 3 stitches for your single crochets. This is my favorite color, by the way. It's one of my favorite colors. I really love dark purples, plums, burgundies, amethyst colors, darker colors preferably, but when it comes to lighter colors, this is one of my favorites. It's like a mauve rose color. I love it. Okay, the last 3 stitches, single crochet, and the back loop only. So anyways, it was a really good day today. We got our supply truck today, and I already move around like an F5 tornado. I move around fast, and so I'm usually the one that's designated to put the truck away because I can get it put up the fastest. I never check it in. I mean, I have before. Okay, there's my 3 single crochets. Don't forget to use your stitch marker if you're new to this. I'm not moving it up each row because I'm used to this, but don't forget to use your stitch marker if it'll help you guys. Do what helps you the best. Do what works for you. So anyways, it was a very good day today. Very good mood. I worked with 2 awesome people today. My colleagues are wonderful to work with. So one more half double crochet, back loop only. Oops, I messed up somewhere. I don't need 4 loops there. I missed a stitch, or I missed a loop. There we go. And then both loops, and the last one, get my crochet hook in there. Get in there. Okay. Thank you. Alrighty, I'm going to do, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm going to work a couple more rows, and so I can show you guys how to sew this up. Excuse me. So, just a reminder to Vivian Brandel, if you have not sent me your email with your address, I need you to do that, honey, so I can mail off this Halloween scarf to you. Let's see, I posted this on the 3rd. Okay, so if I don't hear from you, Vivian, by the 13th, by midnight on the 13th, I will have to pick another winner. And I really hate doing that. I know life is busy, life gets hectic. I just don't understand why you would enter a giveaway and then not go back and see if you won. I know some people can forget, and that's completely okay. But that's why I'm reminding you again. Okay, I've got 3 stitches left. We're going to do 3 single crochets. Yeah, I mean, I have forgotten about entering things a lot. And unless I check my email, I will forget about it. So I completely understand. But I hope you watch these next videos I've been doing so that you will remember to send me an email. And I'm doing my half double crochets again. So this is a miniature hat I'm just making so that you guys get the basic idea on this tutorial. I can't wait to see how this looks when I have it all stitched up. And surely my niece will have a baby doll. She can probably put this on. Or I'll just keep it and put it on display on my yarn shelf. Who knows? Last stitch, I'm going under both loops to keep the edge of the brim more neat. Okay, I'm going to do another row here. Both loops on that first stitch. And back loop only. Now when you do this, actually I'm doing this too tight. That's why I'm having trouble getting my hook in that very last stitch. Go ahead and pull up a little bit for some slack. And then do the half double crochet under both loops. And then back loop only. That'll create just a little tiny bit more space so you can get your hook in there. Just slightly pull up on that last loop. When you chain one to turn your work, you can pull up on that loop just a hair so you have more wiggle room to work that last stitch when you go back around that next row. Okay, only wrap around once, not twice. We're not doing trebles here. Half double crochet, one more half double crochet, and then last 3 stitches do a single crochet. Come on, come on, come on, come on, get in there. Thank you. We missed a thread. We need all threads. Thank you. Okay. Let me see, do one more. 1 or 2 more. Let's see here. I want to make sure this is going to be wide enough for me to work with. I really hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. And I do re-watch all of my tutorials before I post them, just to make sure they're okay. Now, of course, they're not perfect, but I will, of course, be trying to make improvements as I go along. Raven's eating more tuna over there. Sometimes Raven eats so fast, if I feed her too much, she'll throw it up in like within 30 minutes. I need to get her one of those. I can't find one. I need to find a food bowl for cats. I need one that's shallow. For cats, they like more shallow bowls because they really don't like their whiskers touching the sides of the bowl. So I try not to use bowls for her that are too deep. Some of the bowls that they sell in stores are just too deep for cats, and they really don't like their whiskers touching the sides of the bowl. Okay, I'm going to do one more row for sure. This is my last row. And I'm going to stop at the end of this row and show you what to do next. So just pretend that you chained 56 and you've worked 36 to 42 rows, depending on the size of your head or whoever you're making it for. And as soon as I get to the end, we will leave a very long tail and cut off the yarn. Okay, 3 stitches left. Single crochet, single crochet, single crochet. Okay, so your work should look like this. You got it narrow for the top of your hat. You've got a wide, even edge for the bottom of your brim. So your very last stitch, just do one more chain and then leave a long tail, very long tail. So run your tail across the top of your hat. Actually, okay, you're just gonna go down. This is the side where we're gonna stitch these 2 ends together. You're gonna have this long rectangle, top, the bottom. Take your 2 sides, fold them together, run your yarn double width wise. This is going to make sure you have plenty of yarn. Plenty of yarn. And then I take more yarn, I double the top of the hat like this, and then I cut my yarn. So that way I know I have enough to sew in the ends. So I'll show you that again. You chain one more, and pull your yarn through when you cut it off. Double your yarn this way, and then double your yarn across the top of your hat for sewing in, and that way you know you have enough yarn. So now we're going to take a darning needle, take the stitch marker out of your work. We don't need this anymore. And we're going to thread this in. And then we're going to take the 2 sides of our hat, just like this. And we're going to go underneath both loops on this one. And then, let's see here, only the front loop on this side we're going to take in. Front loop on this side. And I just like to do a whip stitch. I go in both loops and then the front loop on that one. So I want to see if I can create another ridge just like these here. I like to create the same ridge right here for the same effect. Sorry, I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Going underneath both loops on the front side and then underneath the front loop So that's the front loop right there, and then that's the back loop. Front loop, back loop. So I'm going underneath the front loop only on that side. I'll show you again. Both loops, and then the front loop. That's how I'm doing it. You can sew this up however you like, going under whatever stitches you prefer. This is just what I'm doing because for the most part I don't care. It's the back seam, no one's really going to notice, and I just don't care. I take things the easy way. I'm a hard worker, I'm very thorough, but I'm a lazy crocheter. So I'm just whip stitching, just keep whip stitching. You can also do a slip stitch across this row if you want to. If you don't like sewing, that's perfectly fine. You can slip stitch all the way down. Now this very last stitch, I go underneath both loops. Again, just to keep the edge of the brim even. And then I do one more whip stitch on this bottom one, just to secure that in and make it nice and tight. Then now, if you want to, just go in and out, work your way up to the top of the hat. Just go in and out and weave your way back up. Or you can cut your tail off, and then you can cut another strand of yarn to go around the top of the hat. So this tail, this is just my personal preference. I like to tie this together just like that. It doesn't matter if there's a knot up here because it's going to be sewn close together. So I just tied a double knot. I'm going to cut that tail off. And I'll put that in my scraps. And then now we're just going to do a weave stitch around the top of the hat, just like this. Just go in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way across the top. Try to go underneath 1 or 2 loops only. We want to only work in the very top of this hat. 1 or 2 loops only. And just go all the way around until you get back to that knot. And then gently pull together. And then I go back and forth across the whole thing just like this. Just go back and forth just a few times. 3 or 4 times is good enough. And then I go back through to do a knot. Go back through and do a knot. And that's pretty much good. I leave just about 1/4 of an inch. A little stubby right there, just in case. And then now flip it right side out. And there's your hat. So again, this is a long beanie. You can fold this up to keep your ears warm, or you can roll it back down to have some slouch. So there you go. You see how less bulk there is in the top of that hat now? You've got these beautiful ridges from working in those back loops only. You can double the brim up for extra ear warmth. Very versatile hat. I love this pattern. So again, here's the pattern. It's not neat. I apologize for my chicken scratch, but you're going to chain 56, work a half double crochet into the second chain from hook into the back loop only. And in each stitch across, except for your last 3 stitches, you're going to do 3 single crochets in the back loop only. Chain 1, turn your work, do 3 single crochets in those first 3 stitches in the back loop only. Continue all the way down in the back loop only, doing half double crochets except for that very last stitch. Work underneath both loops, front and back. Do your last half double crochet. Chain 1, do the half double crochet underneath both loops. Continue all the way down, doing half double crochets in the back loop only. Your last 3 stitches, do a single crochet in the back loop only. Turn your work, 3 single crochets. Continue on with your half double crochets in the back loop only. You get the idea. So work 36 to 42 rows depending on the size of your head. And then double up your yarn before you cut it off. Double up your yarn for the two ends of your hat to sew in like we did. Double up your yarn for the side of your hat that you're going to sew together. And double up yarn for the top of your brim. That way you know for sure you have enough yarn. It's better to have too much than not enough. So that's what I have left, and these will go into my scraps for stuffing. I save all of my yarn for amigurumi stuffing or for stuffing pillows or whatever, so that'll go in my scraps. I hope this tutorial has helped you guys. Please leave me any comments if you have any suggestions or if you have any questions about this pattern. Please feel free to ask. You can send me an email if you have a longer message you'd like to send. If you have more questions, if you need thorough instructions or anything like that. So I hope this has helped you guys. If you do make any hats, I would love to see pictures. You're more than welcome to email me some pictures and let me know. And that's pretty much all I have for today. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you guys soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.